Hey everyone, my name's Andy. My channel's Finding Value. If you like making money, subscribe to the channel. Give me a thumbs up for the content. Leave comments below if you guys have any questions about anything. I'm going to do an overall market update. I'm going to touch rates, dollar, technology companies, and then I'm going to do energy companies. So let's jump into the presentation, see what I have on all those areas. This is the overall update. So the 10 years still going up. I think naturally the market's wanting to go up, and I think they're trying to hold it down. That's what I think is going on. They being the Federal Reserve. So it's continuing to go up. It's good. This going up is going to put pressure on technology stocks and potentially the overall market, depending on how fast these rates go up. That's why I continue to go over the 10-year Treasury yield. And what we should see is technology companies, that money's going to rotate out of them. And the dollar, here's the dollar, looks like we could potentially be going sideways or down in a continuation of this downtrend pattern. And with the dollar going down, it's basically saying we have inflation. This is saying we have inflation with Treasury yields going up, dollar going down. And what that's going to do is put pressure on technology companies. That's been my thesis. And I've always said in my videos that I'm looking for a top in technology where we could potentially see a pretty big pullback, or maybe even a very large pullback, as in like a dot-com bubble type scenario, if the Federal Reserve cannot hold interest rates down. So here's the NASDAQ composite. Bearish engulfing. We've got these big dark cloud cover, bearish engulfing. It's coming and it's pulling on back. We'll see where this thing ends up, but this could potentially be a top. I see, if you start looking through here, the down days are getting bigger, bearish engulfing, bearish engulfing, bearish engulfing, bearish engulfing. These all add up, stating, hey, look, a top's coming. And I think this is this could be a beginning of a pullback. Maybe it's a top. If they can control rates, I think they could probably save it, but if they can't control rates, if they can't keep rates down, the NASDAQ technology companies, they're going to go lower. That's my opinion. They are going to go lower. Here's Tesla. It is going lower. It looks like a top's being put in. Same with Apple. Same with Amazon. And I didn't realize Walmart was so sensitive to rates. It may or may not be. Oops. May or may not be, but that's been getting hit pretty hard too. Now here's the home builder, Hovenen. Look at the domination here. This was March of 2020. It got down to like $6. And now we're up to $86. That is ridiculous. In the speed that Hovenen has put in for returns. Here's the United States Oil Fund. I want to touch on that. Another thing I want to touch on here is we had a pretty good sell-off here. And this was a pretty large down day with a lot of momentum. And I know we had news come out that OPEC wasn't going to increase its production. And it changed on a dime and went up 3.5%. Just, in one day, snap of a fingers, bam, it rotated so quick. And that's why I don't trade in and out of these companies. I load up in them when the valuations are cheap, and then I just sit in them. I don't want to be trading in and out because news can if you're out of the stock, news can move these things quite rapid. And I'm going to show you some of the moves in the oil sector and how rapid they had moved after that news. So we have a large 3.5% up day in oil, and that materialized itself in SM Energy with a 15.4% up day, at least when I ran these charts. Calhan Petroleum's up 21%. That's one of our cheetahs on the channel that a lot of us hold from. I think I introduced that around $16 or so. We've got Centennial Development, which we own. That's 16.67. I didn't even include Fang in here. I forgot that one. That one was up like 10%. Contango's up almost 6%. Grand Tierra Energy's up 9.3%. CNX, that was a company I've talked about before, 5.5%. Looks like it's about to break out of its pattern. Southwestern Energy is doing pretty well. Looks like the little flag pattern going on here. Antero Resources, this thing's doing extremely well, as we were talking about it in the $4 range, and now it's just continuing to move on up. Crew Energy, same thing. Absolute domination. It's over $1 now, at least on the TSX. Tetra Technology, looks like it's coming into some resistance. You can see it's kind of trying to break. And I want to touch on some alternative energy companies. SunPower, looks like it's pulling back. We've got some nice big down days there. Same with Vestas Wind Energy. So these are all falling out of favor too. It's almost like they're treated as technology companies. And Gamesa right here, that thing's down quite large, 8.3%. So some of the things I want to touch on in terms of oil is technical analysis will get you so far. And when news comes out, it can change and rotate things so quickly. In one day, these companies, some of the valuations changed 15, 20%, just like that. Now, if you're out of those companies and you're like, oh, the technicals don't look very good, I'll sell my companies. And all of a sudden it rotates in one day and it's up 20%. Are you going to get back in? And that's what happened to me last commodity bull market is I was trading in and out and I got caught out where news would come out and it's like, man, that thing's gone. And it moves 20, 30% in a day. And you don't want to feel like chasing it. So my approach this time is sitting it. If I got in at very good prices with low valuations, I'm just going to sit and let it go. That's my approach. I've taken it with SM Energy. That is now up almost 1,000% since October of 2020. CPE, that one's doing very well. Centennial Development. QEP, which was bought out by Fang, which is Diamondback Energy. Contango Oil and Gas. Grand Tier Energy. I'm just sitting in these companies and I'm going to wait for this entire bull market. Not trading in and out. Not trading it out. I haven't sold anything in any of those companies. I still own Tellurian as well. It's a liquefied natural gas company. It looks like it's trying to put in a bottom at some point. It's still pulling back. So my approach is buy, sit, and wait. Twiddle my thumbs. Don't do anything. The greatest extent I'm willing to do is hit refresh on the portfolio. I am not selling any of these things. I'm holding on, diamond hands, not getting my shares. Not for sale. And whenever we come to the end of this bull market, I'm hoping that oil is much higher than where it is today. We're still only at $60. These things are quite leveraged to the price. If we see $100 oil in a year or two, they're going to be way higher than where they are today. Way, 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 way higher. Like unfathomable levels higher. So I'm looking for a 50 bagger or 100 bagger out of some of these potentially. Hopefully. Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. Let's see what happens. But if you guys like this type of update, subscribe to the channel. Give me a thumbs up. Leave comments below on what your thoughts are. I'm riding this thing through. Overall, tech looks weak, and I'm getting a lot of mixed signals. I'm getting tech coming back. Does that mean it's going to pull some of these commodity sectors back? Maybe, maybe not. We might be seeing that initial. I said initially it would kind of pull them back, and then we might want to see them break apart. Do you think that's breaking apart right now? Leave in the comment section what you guys think, because I don't necessarily know. I'm in these things. I'm holding on. I'm not trading in and out, but I kind of guessed that they're all interlinked. In the beginning, it would come back, and then they would break that link, and commodities would continue to go higher while technology companies pull on back. Let me know what you think in the comment section. Thanks, guys, for listening. This is Finding Value.